Hi, everybody. It's Taryn here from I Am Lightwalker. How are you doing? So nice to connect with you this new moon. So it's today is actually the 24th of February, and it's and this is the new moon channeling that I do every week. So technically, new moon was officially yesterday, Sunday, and my partner and boyfriend, his family has had a lot of death lately, so we were at a family function, so I could not get to do the reading yesterday, but today I get to do it, and it absolutely is fun. So when we look at new moon and full moon energy, essentially you can take any of the days, and for 3 days before and 3 days afterwards, we're in the same portal of energy. So it all aligns. So I'm glad that I get a chance to do the reading today. So if you had to take a minute and scan for yourself, how are you doing at this point in time? What's going on for you? And the reason I ask that question is there's this real need at this point in time to start getting far more present to the information that is within us. So the way they're talking about that is that we're often so focused on the information that is outside of us that we forget to connect with the information of what is going on inside of us. So we're quite there's quite a lot of external stimulus. This reading is an external stimuli. It's information coming from the outside into you, and the intention of guidance is always to stimulate the inside out experience. So when you get readings, or when you get any kind of channeling, or you watch any kind of information, there's a spiritual sharing. The really important thing is to connect with what comes up for me. What's the inside out guidance that is important around this for me at this point in time? And if we can start to connect with the inside out and look at the internal stimulus. Now, the internal stimulus has got a physical body stimulus, the internal stimulus of our emotions. Our emotions are always giving us some form of data of what is going on for us, especially the inner child within us. The mental stimulus, what is our thoughts that are being created, and then the spiritual stimulus, the connection to our source and our own guidance and intuition. And even, in fact, that feeling of feeling quite separate is a stimulus. So we need, at some point, they're saying, to regard the internal stimulus probably more than the external stimulus, especially when we're looking for healing and the next step and the things to do. So new moon is typically a time of great rejuvenation. It's an opportunity to regenerate and renew and release to some extent, but more recreate, more allow ourselves to step into the possibilities. That's what typically new moon's about. But again, what is new moon about for you? If you had to keep a moon diary, what happens for you at full moon and what happens for you at new moon is more useful information than me standing here and telling you what typically new moon is about and what it's supposed to be about. So we've been riding quite a cosmic wave as 2020 has started. Sure, many of you have been feeling that. It has certainly been a time of disruption. And 2020 has a lot to do with the energy of bringing that which needs to be paid attention to the surface. So things that certainly I've seen it in my life, and maybe you've seen it yourself, is the things that you have not confronted, or things that have needed some kind of decision, some kind of shift, something that needed to be done around it, is kind of in some way being brought forward and saying, now make a decision. So it is a time of commitment. And decisiveness and commitments are very interesting energies. We need to notice, what do we commit to? And again, alignment becomes a really big thing, is that are we committing and being aligned to our commitment? So sometimes we're very committed. We make a decision that, oh, I'm going to focus on my personal growth this year, for example. But our behaviors and our actions are all delaying action around that, doing something different. And so there is an impasse, there's a void, there isn't a place of connection around that. And so our intention is not enough if there's no action. And so when we align our actions with our intention, that is when we get commitment. And so commitment is this process of connecting ourselves to our own desires, connecting ourselves to our own intentions, connecting ourselves to that which we feel is important for us. Right, so I'm going to do a new moon reading. So I'm going to connect with the Diamond Ray Council and see what they bring forward for us this new moon. Always exciting and interesting for me to do this. I'm just shuffling the cards. Sorry, I know that that can be a bit loud. And I just want to pick a card, they're saying, for the thing. So the cards that I've used, I often get questions around it, is from the deck of cards that I've created. These are cards that I've channeled. I'm Lightwalker deck. And essentially, these are cards that are about connecting to the divine and using the guidance to shift and make changes in our lives and to step into our life. Right, so the card that's come forward is perspective. What is small is big, and what is big is small. So again, they really are showing this alignment sort of energy, and alignment is a big thing that's coming up this year around, again, if something's important to us, are we taking the small actions to align with it? Are we connecting the dots, so to speak? So again, this idea that sometimes something's important to us, but we're busy doing all sorts of other things. So how do we integrate all of this? This card is quite a beautiful card when we look at it, perspective. What is small is big and what is big is small, because we see this building and looking up at it like we see it from one perspective. But imagine standing at the top there and looking down, you're going to see it completely differently. And again, imagine standing in one of these windows and looking out, you're going to see it differently. And you may not even be looking out, you may be looking in. So perspective is this opportunity for us to notice things from multiple dimensions. And that essentially is what guidance is. This guidance is shifting our perspective. It's showing us an alternative way to see the things that sometimes we are stuck in. And that's why we get this beautiful thought that miracles happen when perspective shifts. Miracles happen when perspective shifts. Because nothing changes on the outside world again, but everything changes on the inside. And that realignment on the inside shifts our vibration, shifts our experiences, and shifts the way that we go forward. And so we start talking different, believing differently, acting differently, connecting differently. And so suddenly things start to be in flow again. And so there's this definite connection point with the internal. Right, so let us connect in. For those of you that are joining for the first time, just to give you a little bit of the way it works, I go into a few seconds of silence as I connect with the Diamond Ray Council, a group of beings of light dedicated to bringing a love consciousness to Earth at this point in time. And when I come back, nothing too weird happens. Sometimes my voice changes a little bit. Sometimes they tell us who's speaking, sometimes not. They love to use the statement, many voices, one heart, many voices. And then sometimes they'll do a light language mantra as well. So sometimes they'll do a light language frequency. Light language is essentially tones. It's a way of them channeling information that our energetic body can hear, that shifts our energetic blueprints. The most important thing when there's a light language transmission is to just be open to receiving it. It's not actually about understanding it at all, but feel what happens in your energy field and allow yourself to integrate with that. Right, so let's connect in. Let's see what comes up. There is a need for repetition. Repetition is one of the key facets of change, transformation. Anything that is being repeated becomes consciousness. Consciousness is essentially that which has been repeated enough times by enough people, group consciousness, by enough people. Indeed, your own consciousness, your own ability to be conscious is a reflection of what is on repeat in your life. What is it that is done continuously? Anything that is repeated becomes habitual, and those habits start to form pathways. And so we become unconscious because we essentially just work on repeat. We just allow ourselves to move into doing what has always been done. Habits and things that are on repeat, the repetition, to some extent creates the illusion of comfort, the illusion of stability, the illusion of normality. The routines and the habits that we have are supportive to the life we're living. And all of this is, we imagine, to some extent obvious when we say it this way. But it brings an immense amount of possibility and power when we open up the doorway to look at this properly. Because the life that you are living, the experience you are having, the abundance or lack thereof, the connection or lack thereof, the expression or lack thereof, is an outcome of that which has been on repeat. The thoughts that are being repeated, the behaviors that are being repeated, the conversations that are being repeated, the actions that are on auto drive, the continual habits. Habits are hypnotizing. They put you into a place of hypnosis. This is not good, and this is not bad. This just is the way it is. And so the reason we bring this forward today is we can continuously connect in with the desires from so many of you, the souls that are there on earth at this point in time, those of you that are dreaming and wishing for a different kind of life, open even to the possibilities of those. Praying and meditating, talking and sharing, connecting with souls that all desire a similar kind of experience, one of ease, one of possibility, one of expansion, one of a different kind of life, one of abundance, one of joy, one of peace. The desire is there. But what is on repeat? What is on repeat is habits and behaviors and conversations that are about the lack of that. How about how it's not here? How it's something in the future. The habits and the behaviors, the things that are on repeat, are behaviors that keep creating a reality slightly different to that. The habit is one of separateness of will, desire, and action behavior. It takes a very brave soul, and we don't mean brave in the act of courage, we mean brave in the act of awakeness, to pause and review and look at what habits, what process that's on repeat do I need to somehow interrupt and redirect and create a new one. New habits of thought, new habits of behavior, new habits of conversations, using words that align with the desires. In fact, all manifestation, all creation, all opportunity for transformation exists when we open up the doorway for new kinds of habits. What needs to be done daily, weekly, hourly, monthly, annually, whatever it is, that becomes something that connects you to creating the life you would like to live. Forging new pathways. Creating new habits. We bring forward this reading today in alignment with the reading that came forward, or the message that came forward from this channel, the last new moon, which was about creating divine space. Space to reflect and review and notice, where is there an opportunity for me to do something different? Our encouragement to you this month, this day, this time, this place, is to commit to one act that aligns you to feeling more alive, more awake, more connected, more whole. One act, and to make it a habit. That act could be the act of smiling at people in the street. It could be the act of reading uplifting texts. It could be the act of listening to music that connects you to your soul. It could be the act of journaling. It could be the act of going to gym. It could be the act of cooking. It could be the act of drinking water. It could be the act of working with your crystals. It could be the act of anything. It really, if it makes you feel lighter, it makes you feel more alive, it makes you feel more whole, it's to commit to doing that and to make it something that you do on repeat. Not because you have to, not because you must, but because anything that's on repeat becomes a pathway. And we would love to support new pathways forward for each of you, to create a way forward that allows you to start experiencing the life of your dreams, the life you want, the life you can have. And when life offers you a place of disruption, know that this creates an opportunity for new habits, things to do habitually, things to put on repeat. In the place of moving from one repetitive behavior to a new one, it is awkward and uncomfortable, and the mind will find many excuses not to, because it will feel more difficult. But when you commit, amazing things happen. It opens up new pathways, new doorways, new possibilities, new portals. We bring you this transmission because you're a soul that is destined to support a new world being created. How do we know? Because that's the souls that are connected to this channel, and those are the souls that are finding their way to these messages. What are the habits of your lightness? What are the habits of your spirit? What are the habits that make you connect to a deeper part of yourself? We shall end off this transmission with a light language song that can support this message. This is not a message that is intended to create any pain. It's a message that's intended to create some space for reflection so that you can identify one habit, one new act, one new thing to do. It helps you forge new pathways forward. Make it small. Small, small, small actions become amazingly big miracles. And we even encourage you to share your ideas of habits, the things that you do habitually that bring you lightness, that bring you flow, and to add more and more of those into your life and into the world. Okatina yetaya petikia o shiny. Okatina lima high. Hoi tia, hoi tia, hoi tia, hoi tia. Hoi tia, hoi tia, hatika mu. Anita ita kulamina. Hoi shita katu. O anima lai shikati hai hitam. Mai tako alimanai. Simani kai tapushai. Ilaili tinu hai. O katia wushai. Katia shohai. Ikatia shohai. Lahita moho. Inamai tika hita. Hoikinai. He. Hoi. Hoi. He. Hoia. 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 Hoia, 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 ho. Hikatia ho, hikatia ho, hikatia ho. Ai. Ina mitai tai tu hula hina. Ikatiha ho ho lahi matia koya. Ikatina katika pui ai tinai ngai ngoko hai maha. Ilami ni shokati ai tu. Hoi ha ni maha ha. Hoi na miha shohai hai. Hokai hina mai tai alakita. Haikatia shukatina mai taya dikati hon tang kitaya shu ikatia ikatia haha haitai 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 na Wahinama hinuya shukatia mitala inumani mai shakina ilahulai ikachia hoyai ikachia hoyai ikachia holai Ikachiya lohai. Ikachiya olai. Ikachiya lohai. Ikachiya lohai. Ikachiya holai chi. Ikachiya holai chi. Ikachiya lohai chi. Ikachiya lohai chi. We wish you peace and love, and we look forward to supporting you with anything that you do on repeat. Here's to us creating new pathways. Sending love. Namaste. Right. So there we have it. A beautiful, beautiful light message. So, in alignment with that guidance, feel free to post and share and ask. Nothing needs to be done alone. We're a community of people, souls, that are aligning to create new pathways on earth, new networks of light. So connect in and share what are the habits you have for lightness. I look forward to seeing you all next month. Sending lots of love. Namaste.